calligraphy is and has always been extremely popular. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's always very personalized and unique. But calligraphy is also something that's not given naturally to everyone. It takes a lot of time and practice to master. In this video, I'll show you how to fake a gorgeous calligraphy-like Christmas card with the help of clear stamps. Hi there, I'm Yana Smakula and I'm hoping you will love this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell to be notified of every new upload. Stamping is easy. There are thousands of gorgeous stamp designs out there. And to fake the calligraphy look on my cards today, I picked this Merry Christmas stamp from Simon Says Stamp. Now, I always like to add a little something extra to my cards, a little extra message. So here, I'm adding one message that reads, "Wishing you peace and joy." You can add anything you like to your card, or you can skip it altogether. Because I'm using a calligraphy-like sentiment today and a clear stamp to make it, I can actually reproduce the same writing however many times I like. And I don't need any skills to do calligraphy or any special pens or inks that are required for that. I'd love to learn calligraphy one day, but for now, I'm just going to fake it using supplies I already have. I've positioned my Merry Christmas sentiment at a slight angle on my card, and next I filled the space above and below it using beautiful snowflakes. I'm going for blue, gold, and white color combination today, so I'm working on a dark blue cardstock panel. I will heat emboss all of the images in gold embossing powder, and finally I will add white pen accents to finish this card. I've already treated my paper with an anti-static powder tool. I inked up my images with clear sticky ink, and now I'm simply stamping those onto my paper. I'm using a stamping platform today to help me stamp all of the images at once, and also to be able to stamp this sentiment onto multiple panels, as I have several card variations in mind that I would like to try. I'm going to cover this with gold embossing powder and use my heat tool to melt it in place. I prefer, whenever possible, to heat emboss my paper just once. In other words, I try not to heat emboss a sentiment and then heat emboss snowflakes, as the more heat you apply, the more your paper will warp. So hitting your paper with your heat tool just once to heat emboss everything in one go is really helpful. While the powder is melting, I'm already loving this design. It's clean, it's modern, it's easy to make, and it really does look like I wrote that Merry Christmas myself. Next, I always like to use my pencil eraser to remove the anti-static powder from my paper. It doesn't change or damage the heat embossing, but it does a pretty good job of removing that milky film that's covering my paper. The next step is to add some personalized touches to the sentiment. I have my trusty white pen and I'm going to use it to add white shadows next to the writing. This might be the most intimidating part of this process, but all you have to do here is actually follow the curve of the letters and add white details. Practice on a piece of scrap paper if you don't feel comfortable doing this on your project. Here, I've outlined the letters and I added that white shadow. It looks pretty cool, right? I really love this look and effect. Now, if you decide to go with a different color combo, you can use a gel pen in different color too. Maybe you stamp your sentiment in silver and would like to use a black pen to add shadow instead. Now, I'm just using jewels from Pretty Pink Posh to decorate each of the snowflakes and also some of the empty spaces in between. I really love doing this lately, adding those jewel embellishments onto my cards. They look very elegant and even expensive, I would say. They do take time to add as you are adding every single of those jewels by hand, but the end result is worth the effort. They also don't make your card too bulky. It is still a one-layer project and can go through the mail nicely. Now, if you don't have snowflake images in your stash, or maybe you'd like to add something else besides the snowflakes, I have two more ideas for you. Here, I used a large light bulb image from another stamp set from Simon Says Stamp and stamped a number of lights above and below my sentiment. I love the size of this particular image. It complements that large Merry Christmas perfectly. Now, there's no string to the lights, so you'll have to improvise here a little bit. I used a pencil to pencil the light string in. Once I was confident where and how I wanted it to be on my card, I used my white pen again and drew it on my project. It was scary, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm glad I tried. Another modern Christmas card design is almost done. Once again, I added the white pen shading to the sentiment, and I also used my white pen to color parts of the lights. To color the lights themselves, I used my shimmer pen from Tonic Studios, and I added 3 coats of shimmer to each of the lights. You can, if you want to, color these using colored pencils to make them multicolor or all of the same color besides blue. But adding just shimmer worked really well for what I had in mind for this card. Now you can also coat each of the lights with glossy accents for some extra detail, but I decided not to. Again, I added jewels to this card. This time I went with midnight black jewels, also from Pretty Pink Posh, and I simply scattered them in between the lights. Using jewels or any other tiny embellishment is actually a good way to hide any imperfections that you might have in your project, like some stray embossing powder or an accidental dot with a white pen. Now, because I couldn't stop at just 2 cards, I also made one more. Here I used images of gifts from yet another stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. All supplies are detailed below, and again I gold heat embossed them and colored them using a white pen and my shimmer brush. I hope you'll give this idea a try using these or other stamps from your stash. If you do, remember to share online and tag us on social media. We always love seeing what you guys are making. On the screen, there is a link to a playlist with all of my Christmas video tutorials. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. I'll see you next week.